Now we will study extraction of metals. It means how metals are extracted from the ore. So the topic is that steps involved in metallurgy. You know that extraction of metal from the ore through the different steps constitute metallurgy. So in the metallurgy, how many steps are there and how we can get the metal? This topic is removed from the syllabus, not in syllabus. You are thinking, if it is not in a syllabus, then what is the need to study? Problem is that in a syllabus it is reduced in 30% and direct extraction of aluminium is given. But if we take directly extraction of aluminium, you may face difficulty. So that's why, for the knowledge point of view, we will study this topic and then we will go in the detail that extraction of aluminium. So steps involved in metallurgy, there are 4 steps. Step first is the concentration of ore. In the concentration of ore, that 4 methods are given: gravity separation, magnetic separation, next froth flotation, last one is chemical method. So here in concentration of ore, 4 methods are given. So this is the first step. Step 2. What is the second step? Conversion of concentrated ore to oxide. This is the second step. In the second step, 2 methods are given: roasting and calcination. Then step third, reduction of metallic oxide. In reduction of metallic oxide, 3 methods are given, that electrolysis by use of reducing agent, then thermal decomposition. Now step 4, purification of impure metal. In this one, 4 methods are there: distillation, liquefaction, oxidation and electrolytic refining. So that you can learn it, that in metallurgy 4 steps are there. What is the first step? Concentration of ore. In that 4 methods are given. Second step, conversion of concentrated ore to oxide. 2 methods are given. Reduction of metallic oxide, 3 methods are given. Purification of impure metal, 4 methods are given. So now we will discuss in detail all the steps. So step first, that concentration of ore. Concentration of ore. The removal of impurities. The removal of impurities. The removal of impurities from ore is called concentration of ore. You must be thinking, if we are removing the impurities, so the name should be purification of ore, but the name is given concentration of ore. I am giving you one example. Suppose that a sample of ore is there. Sample of ore, in that one 80 kilogram ore is there and 20 kilogram impurity is there. Now the question for you, what is the percentage of ore? Percentage of ore, you will get 80%. Now we apply any 4 method, and now the impurities are removed. Impurities are removed. So when the impurities are removed, you are getting that 80 kilogram ore. No impurities are there. Now what is the percentage of ore? Percentage of ore is 100%. So just you see, now I think it is clear why the name is given concentration of ore. So when you remove the impurities, then the ratio of the ore is increased. So that's why it is called concentration of ore. It is also called enrichment. Enrichment of ore. Some of the writers, they are using this term also, enrichment of ore. So why it is called enrichment of ore or concentration of ore? Because when we remove the impurities, then the percentage of ore is increased. So that's why it is called concentration of ore or enrichment of ore. If you go through the book, one more term is used, dressing of ore. Dressing of ore. So what is dressing of ore? You must have seen that chlorizer machine is there, crushers are there. They are taking the big stone and converting in small form. So when you are getting the ore from the earth, it is in big shape. So first of all, we convert in small pieces. So when we convert in small pieces, then only we can apply this step. So this dressing of ore, to convert the ore in such a form so the impurities can be removed. To convert ore in such a form so impurities can be removed. So this is called dressing of ore. To convert the ore in such a form so impurities can be removed. So ore particles, they are found in a big form. They are going to the conversion of big pieces of the ore into the small pieces, or to convert the ore in such a form so impurities can be removed, is called dressing of ore. So in concentration of ore, first method is given gravity separation. This method is applicable when ore and impurities differ in their densities. When ore and impurities differ in their densities. So here we suppose that ore particles are heavier and impurities impurities are lighter. So how this method is done? Here one sloping table is there. In this sloping table, that like this vibrating table is there. Here that gaps are there. This is called groups. So what we do, we take this one is vibrating like this. So we take the ore, powdered ore plus water. We drop on this table and then it is vibrating. So what will happen? Where the groups are there, these ore particle will be trapped. Ore particle will be trapped in the groups, and here water plus impurities, they are coming down. So by this way you can get the ore particle and impurities will be removed. Second method is given, that magnetic separation. Magnetic separation. What is the condition when this method is applicable? This method is applicable when either ore or impurities, one must have magnetic character. Either ore or impurities, one must have magnetic character. If both are having the magnetic character, this method is failed. If both are having non-magnetic character, then also this method is failed. So we suppose here that ore is magnetic, generally iron ore, and impurities are non-magnetic. So here two wheels are there. In between two wheels, one wheel is magnetic. This wheel is magnetic. That one is non-magnetic. Between two wheels, conveyor belt is there. It is moving between two wheels. So what we do, we take the ore in a powdered form. Then powdered ore we add here. Powdered ore or polarized ore added here. They are coming on this conveyor belt. So when they are reaching to this magnetic wheel, that since ore particle are magnetic, so they will be attracted by this wheel. So they are collected here because this is the separation point. So ore particle you will get, and since impurities non-magnetic, so they will be thrown by the speed of this conveyor belt. So you are getting at two places collection. So here you are getting impurities non-magnetic and ore particle here. So by this way we can remove the impurities from the ore particle. Now the third method is there, froth flotation method or froth flotation process. This is used only for sulfide ore. Only for sulfide ores. Sulfide ores means just like the zinc blende. And this is based on preferential wetting. What is preferential wetting? It is given here, ore particle ore wetted by oil and impurities wetted by water. So ore particles are wetted by oil and impurities wetted by water. So how this method is carried out? We take a steel tank. In a steel tank, we take the ore particle, ore, pine oil you have seen the pine trees on the hilly areas. From that seed they are getting the oil, that is called pine oil, plus water. So these three are mixed here and it is kept here in this steel tank. Then one rotating this blade is there. Here we are adding compressed air. We are passing the compressed air. One example for you, this compressed air. If you take the cold drink bottle and from your mouth, if you blow the air, you must have seen the bubbling. So same situation is here also. We are taking the ore, pine oil and water, then we are passing the compressed air. So when we pass the compressed air, a strong agitation is there. Since ore particle are wetted by oil, or you can understand like that, ore particle will absorb oil. Since oil is lighter, so ore particle will also become lighter. So they are coming at the top and forming the froth. Foam you have seen that if you take the soap and agitate into the water, they are forming the foam. So like that froth is formed. And this froth is floating, that's why the name of the method is given froth flotation process. And impurities, they absorb the water, so they will become heavy. So impurities settle down. Now transfer this ore froth here. Froth is transferred here. Froth. So you must have seen, if you take some soap, detergents, agitate in water, then foam is formed. And that foam, if you keep another place, after some time the foam will disappear. Same thing happen here also. When you transfer the froth here, foam, then after some time the foam will disappear. And when the foam is disappeared, you will get the ore. Then you filter it. By the filtration you can get the ore particle and impurities remain here. Now the fourth method is chemical method. This chemical method is also called leaching. So what is a chemical method or leaching? Select a solvent in which ore particles are soluble and impurities are insoluble. So in the leaching, we select a solvent. In that one, ore particles are soluble and impurities are insoluble. So one I am going to explain chemical method by taking the example of bauxite. Now bauxite Al2O3.2S2O. This is the main ore of aluminium, and from this ore we can extract aluminium. Then here silicon dioxide and ferric oxide present in the form of impurities. As the method is given to you that select a solvent in which ore particles are soluble. So I take the solvent sodium hydroxide. This Al2O3 is amphoteric. Amphoteric oxide. So what will happen? Since it is amphoteric oxide, it reacts with sodium, form sodium aluminate. Sodium aluminate solution. And here silicon dioxide, acidic oxide is there. If it is acid, it is base, they will also react, form sodium silicate, that will also in form of solution. Then this ferric oxide is the basic oxide. It is insoluble. So what we do? We filter it. So by the filtration we are getting these two, but that is insoluble, so it is removed. After that it is diluted with water, and aluminium hydroxide is added in the form of the seed. So when it is diluted with water and aluminum hydroxide is added, so this sodium aluminate converted to aluminum hydroxide. Sodium aluminate is converted to aluminum hydroxide. You are thinking what will happen? Sodium silicate, it remain as such. Then we filter it, we are getting in a form of the precipitate aluminum hydroxide. Then we heat it. So when we heat, we are getting Al2O3. Just you see, you have started from aluminum oxide, you are getting this one. But what is the difference? Starting impurities are there, but here impurities are not there. So one particular name is given for this one. This is called Bayer's process. Bayer's process. In metallurgy of aluminum you will study in the detail. So when we apply chemical method for concentration of bauxite, so the name of the method is called Bayer's process. So chemical method, leaching, Bayer's process. But if it is asked to you which method is used for the concentration of bauxite, then you will say Bayer's process. Which solvent is used? Sodium hydroxide solvent is used. Now the second step. In step second, that we have studied that conversion of concentrated ore to oxide. Conversion of concentrated ore to oxide. In this one, two methods are given. So first I am taking roasting. What is the roasting? Heating the concentrated ore in presence of air at high temperature. Heating the concentrated ore in presence of air at high temperature below the melting point of ore. You must be thinking what is the purpose to convert concentrated ore to oxide, because oxides can be reduced easily, so that's why. So roasting, heating the concentrated ore in presence of air at high temperature below the melting point of ore. So it is done for sulfide ore. So just you see, zinc sulfide is heated, it forms zinc oxide and sulfur dioxide. This is 3/2. If you take iron pyrite, this will form ferric oxide and sulfur dioxide. 4 2s are 8, 3 11, 11 by 2. So the purpose is that purpose of roasting to convert the ore in the form of the oxide, because oxides can be reduced easily. Now calcination, heating concentrated ore in absence of air or limited supply of air below the melting point of ore. So heating the concentrated ore in absence of air or limited supply of air is called calcination. So here calamine is there. When it is heated, it will give zinc oxide and carbon dioxide. This ferrous carbonate heated give ferrous oxide. So what is the purpose of both? Purpose of roasting and calcination. The main purpose is that to convert ore in the form of oxide, because oxides can be removed easily. And second purpose, to remove volatile impurities. One more purpose is there, to convert ore in a porous form, so impurities can be removed. So main purpose is this one only, that to convert the ore in the form of oxide, so it can be removed easily. Now the step third is there, reduction of metallic oxide. Reduction of metallic oxide. Here three methods are given. First one is electrolysis. Second one is by use of reducing agent. Third one is given by thermal decomposition. So how these three methods are applicable? Just you see, you must have seen that metal activity series, Mr. PCS, or that one I have given you, Mr. PBCS May Gentle. So potassium, barium, calcium, sodium, magnesium, aluminium, then zinc, iron, N for nickel, tin, lead, hydrogen, copper, mercury, this much. So now you divide in three parts. For this one, these metals, we use electrolysis. For this one, by use of reducing agent. and here by thermal decomposition. So why electrolysis is used? These metals are highly electropositive. These metals are highly electropositive. They have a strong affinity for oxygen. For reduction, high temperature is required. So that much temperature you can get from the electrolysis, that's why. By use of reducing agent, so in the same sequence they are highly electropositive, less electropositive metals. They have less affinity for oxygen, so they can be reduced by reducing agent. So just you see, if you take the zinc oxide, heat with coke, which reducing agent we are using? Coke, carbon monoxide, hydrogen. So if you heat zinc oxide with coke, you will get zinc and carbon monoxide. If you take ferric oxide, heat with carbon monoxide, you will get iron and carbon dioxide. Then these two metals, they are least electropositive, they have least affinity for oxygen. So that's why they can be obtained by simply by heating, that is called thermal decomposition. So when you heat this one, you will get mercury and oxygen. If you heat silver oxide, you will get silver and oxygen. Now step 4 is given to you: purification of impure metal. Purification of impure metal. So in that one, 4 methods are given. First one is distillation. Distillation is used for volatile metal, metals. It means metals having low boiling point. So we can use for mercury and zinc. So when these metals are heated, since these metals are volatile, they will be removed from the furnace and impurities remain in furnace. Second one is given liquation. Liquation is used for the metals having low melting point. For metals having low melting point. For example, tin and lead. So since they are having the low melting point, so in the sloping furnace, when they are heated, they will melt and flow down and impurities remain. Third one is given oxidation. This oxidation method is used for iron. This iron contain impurities carbon, sulfur, silicon, phosphorus. So these impurities are oxidized. Impurities are oxidized, means they will form carbon dioxide, sulfur dioxide, silicon dioxide, phosphorus pentoxide. So these impurities come in the form of oxide, so they will be removed in a form of the gas. Now the last one is electrolytic refining. So this method already we studied in electrolysis. So impure metal is made as anode and the pure metal is made as cathode. So when you electrolyte you can take, when you pass the electric current you will get the pure metal at cathode. So now all the steps are completed, and in the next video we will study in detail that metallurgy of aluminum, and that is given in syllabus.